Boom. Okay, welcome to this week's edition of the 10X Mastermind Group Call. This call comes at you live every single Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific time from Rockland, California. My name is John Pyron. I'm the business doctor, and I try to come to you every single week to talk about small business. So I built lots of different businesses over the years. I've helped a lot of business owners succeed. The problems that you deal with in business, man, if somebody can just write a book that would cover every single business problem, then it would save us entrepreneurs a whole lot of pain and headache. But the one thing I've discovered over the years is somebody else's experience is a whole lot less expensive than my own. And so over the years, I've had mentors that I've worked with, that have saved me a tremendous amount of time, has saved me a tremendous amount of money, headache, heartache, etc. And so if you're not working with a mentor, highly recommend you find one. If you don't know how to find one or you're kind of curious, go to my website at johnpyron.com, schedule a phone call, and I'll be able to see what I can do to help you out. If not, I've got a lot of other people I've worked with over the years that I can refer you to. So I just want you to succeed. And so the reason I'm doing this call in the first place is every single week I'm going to come to you with a different topic. And it's usually a topic that I've had a lot of experience with, specifically in the previous week in working with my clients. I coach about 10 clients one-on-one. And so that means I'm solving anywhere from 10 to 15 new business problems every single week. And I pick the favorite one, so I can actually come to you live and give you the knowledge and give you what the strategies that I gave my own client, and it works for them, it works for me, and it could work for you. So today we're going to talk about the subject that people absolutely, hands down, is a challenge subject all the time, and that has to do with time management strategies, specifically for business owners. Now, if you're not a business owner, no big deal. Okay, and those of you on Facebook Live, feel free to ask your questions. James is behind the scene here. He's going to write your questions down, and we're going to do some live Q&A today as well, because I want you to get your questions answered. So whether it's about time management, whether it's about business, employees, you name the business problem, I've probably dealt with it with the amount of coaching and consulting that I do. So but let's hop into it. Time management strategies for business owners. So we all know that running a small business is hard. And, when you look at administration, employees, marketing, chasing leads, taking care of clients, managing your web presence, and all the other myriad of activities that are necessary for business owners, there's hardly any time left to actually do whatever it is you started your business to do. When you're first starting out, you're wearing all the hats. I know, because I've started 7 businesses from scratch and I've wore all the damn hats. And my number one goal when I started was to get my business to a point where I can delegate or outsource or automate those things I no longer wanted to do. And so today I'm going to go through the top 10 strategies that I have about time management. I'm going to demystify this myth that is pretty much has been, put in our culture since the 40s and 50s about time management. And the number one myth I'm going to demystify right now is you can't manage time. So this call started, what time is it? This call started 9 minutes ago. I cannot go back and capture those 9 minutes, no matter how great I am, no matter how much money I make, no matter how brilliant I am. I cannot go back and replace those 9 minutes that have already gone by. Just like I cannot replace yesterday. It's gone. It's done. It's over. Okay. So to try to manage time is like trying to control air, right? You can't control air. It's like, trying to grasp at Jello, right? It's not going to work. It's the same thing with time. So time management is a true myth. You can't manage time. All you can do is manage your activities and your priorities with what you do with your time. And so I want to go through some things here today that I've learned over the past 29 years of building businesses, and I've learned from mentors and workshops and seminars and mastermind groups and building companies, and probably poured, $250,000, $300,000 into mentors and coaching and education and actually have real world experience. And I'm going to share with you the things that, are the best strategies I use. Number one, don't improvise. Okay. Don't improvise at all. I mean, literally one of the worst things that you can do for your productivity is to show up at your office in the morning without a defined set of goals and tasks to get accomplished for the day. So the best thing to do, and what I tell people all the time, it's just like we're in basketball season right now. So, I live in an area where you have the Sacramento Kings and you have the Golden State Warriors. And I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt that they don't show up to the game when the game starts, when the first quarter starts. They're not trying to figure out what they're going to do. They're just not. They know what they're going to do because they plan and they strategize and they set goals ahead of time before they get to the game. So the number one rule I'll tell you right now, and if you embrace this, I promise you, it will make a big difference. Just this one thing, it'll make the biggest difference in your world as far as getting more crap done in a day. And that is treat your work, your business, your work day like a professional not baseball, that's a bad analogy, like a professional football game or a basketball game. Show up ready to play the game. Not show up and then go get your coffee and then go to your desk and, fire up social media and email and all this other stuff. You waste about a half hour and then you finally get to, wow, I wonder what I'm going to do today. This happens all the time. I see this happen all the time when I go in and take over a company and they have lots of employees and I start interviewing the employees, I start working with them. That's exactly what they do. They waste a tremendous amount of time because they're not prepared ahead of time. And what's worse is the owner is the worst offender. If the owner just set the example and was a leader in this space, the employees would get a lot more done. So here's what I would recommend. Get up a half hour early in the morning. Have a set schedule, a set morning routine where you take care of yourself first. You put on your own oxygen mask first. You write out your own goals. You write out what you're going to get accomplished for today. And I'm going to give you some tools. I got a little bonus thing I'm going to give you at the end. It's something I've used to literally eliminate the stigma or the frustration of procrastination. And so at the very end of what I'm going to do today, I'm going to share with you something that I use to get a lot more done in a day than most people get done in a week, and a lot more in a week than most people get done in a month. Okay. So, but set a schedule and stick to it. So if your game, if the game starts, if your workday starts at 8, be there ready to go, rock and roll at 8 o'clock. If it's 9 o'clock, make it 9 o'clock. But whatever time it is, you need to come up with a schedule that you can stick to. And by doing that, you're going to accomplish what a lot of people don't accomplish, which is actually true balance in your life. See, this thing about balance, what most people say, okay, well, I've got this amount of time, so I'm going to spend this much time with the kids. I'm going to spend this much time with the spouse, and I'm going to spend this much time on my physical fitness and having fun and then work and stuff for the neighbor and friends. And they have all these things. They try to balance it out. And I'm going to tell you right now, balancing it out is total bullshit. Okay. I'm just going to be frank with you, because what happens is you've got this over here and you got this over here and you got work set right here. Let me bring this back to being a business owner. You got work set here that you're supposed to go in and work on your business, and you should be there at 8 and you show up at 8:30, or even if you show up at 8, you jerk around for several hours. And here's what happens. You get done with the end of the day and all this stuff that you were supposed to get done doesn't get done. And now you drive home and you feel guilty. And then you get home and you walk in the door and your mind is still back at the office. Your mind is still back there because you should have gotten it done But now you've got quote unquote family time because that's in your balanced lifestyle schedule, right? But you're not really there because you're physically there, but you're back at the office. Why? Because you robbed yourself at the office. I'm going to bring it hard today. Okay. I'm not going to sugarcoat jack shit. Okay. So, because I want to help you. And sometimes it's like we have all the knowledge, right? We have all the knowledge in the world, but knowledge doesn't change jack. Okay. Knowledge is like one of those straight pins, right? One of those straight pins that they use for, you know what I'm talking about, James? One of those straight pins they use for sewing, right? When they're on the clothes, right? So knowledge is that straight pin, right? And if I throw it at your clothes, all it's going to do is bounce off. That's knowledge. So we have an unlimited amount of knowledge about time management and priorities and balance. But what we fail to understand is until it gets emotional for us, we're not going to change. And so emotion would be like a broom handle that I put on the end of that straight pin. And now when I throw it at your clothes, it's going to penetrate. And so that's why I'm just going to bring it raw and real today. So, and if you're offended, good, because I'm probably hitting on something that, you know, is real for you. Okay. But understand where I'm coming from. I want to help you. Okay. So instead of going home and hanging out with your kid and hanging out with your spouse or going and hanging out with friends, why not show up 100% in every area? So that way, when you are with your spouse or your significant other, when you are with your kids, you're mentally and physically there. It was like yesterday. Normally, my son has a golf lesson on Tuesday afternoon after school. Well, there's a scheduling conflict with the coach, so it's going to happen today. But I still had this block of time set aside. And as I'm going throughout my day, I'm excited about it because I'm like, you know, I got to get a crap ton of stuff done because I want to be able to be free to be with him 100% during that 1 hour that was scheduled with her. And so I literally went to town and worked my butt off and was able to be 100% present with him. And we got into some great conversations. It was a beautiful time. Now, I'd like to sit here and say I'm 100%. But you all know that I'd be lying my ass off if I said that. But I strive to do the very best I can, and that's all we can do. So if you haven't been successful in this area, the first thing you got to do is draw the line in the sand. Yesterday's gone. Today is the first day of the rest of your life, and you can change and modify going forward. So don't improvise. Set yourself a schedule. Treat your work time just like a professional football game or a basketball game. Carve it up into 4 quarters, if you will. Take a break in between each quarter. And I'm going to give you some tools that you can use here to make that happen. And when you get to work, plan it out. What do you want to get accomplished? Do this before you even leave your house. Make it a part of your morning routine. So for those of you that aren't, you know, have not heard me before or been on any of the previous calls, I basically have a morning routine that I've learned from mentors over the years, and I get up and I do the same thing every morning. I write out my goals. I ask myself, okay, what do I want? I woke up this morning. I write out the top 5 goals that come to me that are important to me. And then I look at, okay, what can I do today that will help me move myself one step closer to that? And I write it down on a task list, okay? Then I do some meditation. And then I plan out my work. I plan out what I'm going to do. I go to my calendar. I look at my calendar. I look at the task list that I have. And I take off the tasks of the stuff that absolutely has to get done today. Absolutely has to get done today. And I put those in the calendar as an appointment. And so now my calendar has a whole stream of appointments that I just show up to. And if you treat those appointments just like you would treat the appointment with your best prospect or your best client with the same rules that you put in place, in other words, you show up on time, you start the meeting on time, you end it on time, and you take great notes. If you treat the task that you set with yourself with the same priority, you'll get it all done. I promise you. But see, a lot of us place more value on other people and what we're doing for them that we don't even give ourselves permission to give ourselves the same priority. And this is what leads to stress. It's what leads to unhappiness. It's what leads to not being fulfilled. It's what leads to doing everything in our lives half-ass. And as a result, we don't understand why we're not happy. Okay? So set a schedule and stick to it and don't improvise. That'll go a long way. That's number one. Number two, don't multitask. I know you out there, you're like, man, I am the best multitasker on the planet. Nobody can touch me at all. The thing you don't understand is it's scientifically proven that you truly cannot multitask. All you can do is switch from one task to the next. So while you're doing this over here and you're doing this over here, you're giving both of them half-ass attention. And as a result, they don't get done in an efficient manner. Okay? Multitasking might seem like a smart way to save time by cramming as much work as possible into a short amount of time, but it's likely, if you think about it, doing more harm than good. So that's why I like working from a calendar. And I learned this about 4 or 5 years ago from an efficiency expert when I had, and if I show you my tasks, you'd be like, yeah, that's my tasks too. It's a mile freaking long. I'm not going to get all this shit done. And so what he taught me is like, hey, and I'm going to share it with you here at the end. He said, hey, this is how you need to look at your tasks, and you need to take those tasks and make them an appointment and show up to the appointment, even if it's a 5-minute appointment to make a phone call. Show up, focus on the one task, John, and you will get twice the amount of stuff done in a week than you've been getting done. And he was right. He was right. When I'm on my game, when I'm doing this consistently, okay, I'm the most fulfilled. And when I skip a day, I know it. When I skip 2 days, my team knows it. And when I skip a week, everybody knows it. I'm like off track. I'm like out of balance. Why? Because I'm trying to be here, trying to be there, trying to do this, and I'm doing everything half-ass. And then I go, yeah, got to learn again, draw a line. Today's the first day of the rest of my life, get back on track, and boom, snaps right back in place. So don't try to multitask. If you got a lot of stuff to get done, try to put them in combinations, okay? Try to put them in combinations where you're going to time block a half hour and you got 4 or 5 tasks that need to get done, and put them in the order of priority that they need to get done. And in that 1.5 hour, you're just going to go boom, 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 boom. And you're going to get it all done. Do you know that there is a law in place? I forget what, I think it's Pareto's law or something like that. I forget what it's called. But a task will take as much time as you give it. If you decide, hey, this task is going to take a half hour, then guess what magically happens? It takes a half hour. If you say this task has to get done in 5 minutes, then guess what? The task gets done in 5 minutes. And if you don't believe me on this and you want to test this, I want you to pay attention to yourself 1 or 2 days before you get ready to go on a vacation. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You get more stuff done in that one day than you got in the previous 2 weeks because you're going on vacation and you want to unplug. And so give a task a deadline, as shortest amount of time possible, so when you do focus on it and you don't multitask, you can literally just focus on it and get it done. Now, you get asked this question all the time. What if I have a big project that I'm working on, right? So give you an example. One of the people on my team is a guy named James, okay? James does videography, okay? He's a video stud, video genius, right? Well, when you're doing some of these video projects, how long do some of these videos take, man?
Honestly, it could be anywhere up from 2 to 3 days, depending on how long the video is, audio work. Obviously, with how we use green screen very often, so it's making sure that it's looking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, video can take up to about 3 days.
Yeah. So now, do you take a full 3 days to just focus on the one video, or do you have to segment that out?
I have to segment it out.
Yeah.
In order to make sure I also take care of my other work.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're handling a big project that could take 20 hours to do, you got to time block the different stages and milestones of that task. But if you try to do this and then you try to do this, you're like, oh shit, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. Oh my God, I got to get this done. You can always tell when somebody's multitasking, especially when you're on like a conference call, right? Because you're talking to them and you hear the keyboard, right? Or you hear the mouse click, right? And they're not paying attention because they're trying to multitask. I know, I do it. I'll be honest, I'll be the first one to admit it. You know, there are times when I'm talking to somebody and you know, it's like, okay, yeah, okay. No, I hear you, man. That's, yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you focus on it and get it done and not try to multitask, that's going to go a long way to helping you better manage your priorities and your time as well. Number 3, don't be afraid to delegate. This is the number. If I had to place this in a priority, I would place this right here as probably the number one biggest time waster for a business owner for across the board. So they have these resources, virtual assistants, outsourced resources, employees, but they suck at delegating. Okay, I know because I sucked at delegating. And until my mentor got a hold of me and basically had to shake me and said, hey, what'd you hire this person for? You see? And a lot of people have never been trained on actually how to delegate. And if you want a good resource on this, I would highly recommend the book Clockwork by Mike Michalowicz. And what he talks about in there is, as a business owner, about 80% of the work in a 80% of the time in a company needs to be spent on getting work done. 8% on deciding what work needs to get done. 2% that needs to be delegating the work, and 10% is for strategizing, designing the business, working on the business. And what he says in this book is like, hey, most business owners don't spend any time on design. They spend very little time on delegating. And actually the 8% was decision making. They spend probably 25% on decision making because they don't delegate. And the rest of the time they spend on working in the business. And how you properly manage your time is when you have a resource. The way I delegate is this. Hey, here's the task that I want to get done. Number one is I go, okay, who's the best person for this? Who's got the skill set? And I do assessments on all my teams, so I know what their skill sets are. If you don't do assessments in your business, you need to contact me, and I'll show you how to implement assessments in your business. And it'll be the best money you've ever spent because you're going to uncover what the true skills are in hidden assets in your business. So once you know that, now what you can do is you go, okay, this right here is something I no longer want to do. And so I'm going to delegate this task to Mary. And here's what happens in most of the time. I delegate it to Mary. I basically say, figure it out. Or here's what I've done. Here's what I want done. Here's what I want you to get done. And you give it to Mary. So Mary goes off and she starts working on the task. Next thing you know, she comes back and she's got a question. And you're like, oh, hey, what's up? Oh, okay, no. You need to do it this way. And then you send Mary off again. Mary goes off and does the work, comes back with another question. Well, I ran into this scenario. What do I do in this case? Oh, well, here's what you do in this case. And this goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until you finally go, screw it. I'll take it back. I can do it better. Obviously, she can't do it. Right? Am I right or am I wrong? I'm right. I know I am. Okay? Here's how you properly delegate. You sit down, Mary, and you go, hey, Mary, here's the task that I want you to get done. Okay? Here's how I've been doing it. Here's the result that I'm looking for. Do you have any questions? No. All right, I want you to repeat back to me what I just said to you. Okay, she repeats it back. Okay, now, Mary, I'm giving you 100% ownership of this task. It's yours. You have my permission to make as many mistakes as you need so you can learn. You have my permission to make decisions about how that task should be done and how much more efficient it should be done. And so I want you to figure it out. You get one opportunity to come back to me and ask a question. Outside of that, I'm paying you to figure it out. I'm paying you for your expertise. And that's how you delegate. So that way when she comes back, go, remember, you only get one question. Are you sure you want to ask it right now? Or do you maybe want to save it up? Are you sure you've done everything to figure out the challenge that you're having right now? Have you Googled it? Have you done any of this? Have you done everything that you can to figure out what the problem is? No, I haven't. Okay, well, you sure you want to ask me a question? No? Okay, well, it's yours. And don't take it back, okay? If you ever want to get your freedom in your business, if you ever want to have time, if you ever want to get more shit done, the stuff that you like to do, you've got to get good at delegating. Okay. Now, how do you start with delegating? Well, it starts off with 4 lists. Okay. It's not part of my notes here today, but I'm going to remind me if you guys text me or send me a direct message or whatever, I'll send you this resource. Okay. I give it to all of my regular clients, but basically it's 4 lists. So the step-by-step instructions, spreadsheet. And what you're going to do is you're going to make a list of all the things that you personally do in your business on one list. And that list can be a mile long, okay? Then you're going to look at it and go, okay, what do I not want to do and what am I not great at? And that's going to go on list number 2. What's going to be left over is list number 3. This is all the stuff I like to do that I want to do more of. And then list number 4 is, okay, what can I, looking at list number 2 and 3, what can I automate, delegate, or outsource on those 2 lists? And then there's another. And so once you have that in place, now you can sort the spreadsheet and you can pick off what is the thing that takes up the most of my time and who can I automate, delegate, or outsource this to? And you chip away at it one at a time. And over time, you're going to have all these systems created in your business. The next big tip I'm going to give you is once you've delegated it, giving them full permission to own it, giving them full permission to make decisions and to make mistakes. I mean, how did you learn? I don't know about you. I learned by making mistakes. I learned by hiring a mentor who kept me from making a mistake. Okay. So why are we scared that our employees are going to make mistakes? It's the only way they're going to learn. And so feel free to make the mistake. And then once you've got that process down where it's doing so much better than what I could ever do, then what I want you to do, Mary, is I want you to get some screen capture software, maybe Zoom, GoToMeeting, whatever, Camtasia, whatever your favorite juice is there. And I want you to record either on video, audio, or a combination of both exactly how you do what you do now. And that's going to become a training module that we're going to keep in a vault. So instead of spending hours and hours and hours writing out an operational process and procedure that's going to change next month because technology changes, why not create an audio and video library of training so that way when you go to delegate this stuff, because Mary may quit one day, you may fire her. Last thing you want to do is have to reinvent the damn wheel. So you want to have her do all the lion's share of the work. So don't be afraid to delegate and do the 4 lists. If you want to get that resource, let me give you a way to do that here. Hold on. Where is my idiot? I'm an old man. I got glasses, man. All right. 916-741 0596. So 916-741-0596. Okay. Send your name and your email address to that. And then what I want to put together is we're going to put together a Dropbox folder. We're going to put a boatload of business owner resources in there. Okay. And then that way I can just do it all in one Dropbox folder. Okay. So we'll do the 4 lists in there. I'm going to drop a bunch of other free content in here as well, but I want a place to be able to put it. All right, let's go on to the next one. Oh yeah. Yeah. This is one of my favorites, man. Include time to rest. Okay. In order to be really, really good at getting a lot of stuff done, you got to include time to rest. You got to include downtime in your schedule. You got to schedule that time. So for me, it's like, I like the end of a calendar quarter, but I also have little short rest periods every day and once a week. Like I learned from my mentor a long time ago. It's like, hey, at the end of every quarter, get away for a weekend, even if it's by yourself. And so next Friday, I'm taking off. I'm shutting things down at 1. I'm going to be gone until Sunday night. I have no idea where the hell I'm going. I haven't figured that out yet. I just know that I need to take that time in order to recharge my batteries so I can perform hard and heavy in the second quarter. And for those of you that are business owners and you're looking for somebody to run with, okay, I'm going to be putting out something this week. I believe it's going out where I'm going to put together a program where I'm going to run with 7 business owners in the second quarter. I'm going to have a little private mastermind group that I'm going to run, and it's going to be me and 7 other business owners, and we're going to literally sprint as a business owner in the second quarter. Okay. And there's going to be a webinar coming up where I'm going to explain it. There's going to be a vetting and interview process. Not just because you pay the money, it doesn't mean you're going to get in, right? You're going to have to be vetted and qualified as a business owner who really wants to work their ass off and get a lot of results in the second quarter. Okay. So, but it's stuff like this that I'm going to be teaching. Okay. So let me share with you a story about Archimedes, right? So he was tasked by the king with creating a method of discerning real gold from counterfeit. Archimedes worked tirelessly without coming up with a solution. Ultimately, at his wife's urging, he decided to take a hot bath as a break. As he stepped into the tub, he saw the water rise and realized the solution to the king's problem: water displacement. The moral of the story, of course, is that sometimes taking a break actually saves you time and results in greater productivity. So our minds, like our bodies, need a rest from time to time. Without taking a break, you're guaranteeing yourself exhaustion and ultimately diminished returns. And this is so true. Okay. You've got to take time. You've got to schedule time in your schedule to just be with you, to just take that downtime to recharge your batteries. In my case, I do it in the form of a morning routine. I have several times where I'm scheduled throughout the week where it's just totally blocked off for me. I have a quarterly retreat, and then very rarely do I do a vacation because I'm doing that all throughout the year. But when I do a vacation, I do it, man. I go away and I unplug and I don't do jack. Okay. So if you want a good email script, I learned this from Darren Hardy. If you want a really good email script to use for your out of office when you're gone, that guarantees you don't have to check email while you're out, and it guarantees that you don't come back to a crap ton of email to answer, text me the information at that number, and I will get you. What is that number again? 916. I should write this down. 741-0596, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So 916-741-0596. Okay. It's a Google voice number. All right. So text me that info and I'll send you all these great resources. Let me get back to my notes here. So take time out, enjoy your life. My mentor, Steve Noppenton, when I started working with him in May 17th of 2015, the very first thing he did with me is he said, I started talking about, well, I want to accomplish this in my business. These things are frustrating me in my business. I'm frustrated with this. I'm frustrated with this. And I want to do this. And I want to accomplish this. And then he goes, whoa, time out. Let's set the business aside. And let's talk about the life that you want first. Okay. What's the life that you want to live and the lifestyle that you want to live? Let's work on designing that first. And then we'll build a business around that. But if you don't ever take time out to rest and think and ponder, you're not going to come up with those great ideas. So that's just something he recommended. And that's where I came up with my morning routine is he said, you got to take time out to do that, dude. If you don't take time out to think, you're never going to be productive in your business. You're never going to be as productive in your business as you could be. And it's been the best piece of advice I ever paid a lot of money for. Next, number 5 is organize your space. So a cluttered office or desk makes it more difficult to work effectively. And that ultimately makes for wasted time, because if you got stuff here, stuff there, stuff here, stuff there, you spend time, you rob yourself of time by having to look for all this crap. Okay. So if you struggle in this area, if you're like a high I personality, a high D personality typically, then this is a big struggle for you. It's a big time waster. And so what I would do is have somebody come in that is a high S or a high C who knows how to organize and have them organize you. Okay. Pay the money to have them organize. Give you a system. Right now, I just hired a lady that I'm paying probably about $2,500 a month to right now. And her whole mission in life is to go through my entire business and make it even more streamlined and look at all my systems and all my resources, my own productivity, my own time management, everything, and organize this so it runs a lot smoother. Because here's another tip in business. The systems you used when you started got you to maybe 50 grand or 100 grand. And then it's going to be some whole different systems and strategies to get you to 250. And then a whole different strategy to get you to 500. And then from 500 to $1 million, it's going to be even more strategies. I know because I've gone through it. Okay. And then when you get to $1 million, you're going to have to you're going to have to redo it all again and hire a management team. Okay. And that's kind of where my business is. I'm like, you know what? The systems that got me to where I'm at now are frustrating the living crap out of me. So I went out and hired somebody who's an expert because I don't want to do that shit. I'll be honest with you. I'm lazy when it comes to doing that stuff. I don't want to do it. So I am hiring somebody who, quite frankly, they're like a fish to water there. I mean, they love that shit. I don't like it. I just want to show up and speak, coach somebody one-on-one. I don't want to do all that organizational stuff. I'd rather hire somebody to do it, you know? And so if you can't afford to hire somebody to do it, get the book E-Myth by Michael Gerber. Be a great book. Be a great resource for you. Implement the 4 list system I talked about, create enough money where you can go out and hire somebody to do that shit for you. That's what I did. Okay. I've done it many, many, many times. And, you know, truth be told, I'm lazy. Okay. Just being transparent with you. I like to show up, talk to people, help them with their business, give them some strategies. You know, so that's why they call me the business doctor, right? It's like, dude, you're just like a business doctor. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, you think about it. You show up to a doctor's office, right? The nurse takes your vitals, okay? Asks you some questions. She writes it in a chart. Then she walks you in and it takes your weight, all that stuff, walks you into the room there, right? The doctor's room, okay? Put your chart on the wall, says, the doctor will be with you in just a minute. Doctor comes in. Hey, how you doing today? How's things been? He looks at your chart, looks at all your past stuff that you've had discussions about, you know, knows your family history, all the stuff about it. Then he asks you a bunch of questions, re-verifies what the nurse already asked. Now he's got a clear understanding. He takes out his stethoscope. He checks your heart, checks your knee, looks, you know, makes you open your mouth, you know, looks in your eyes and your ears and does all this examination stuff. And then if you went and got your blood work, looks at all your blood work ahead of time. He's like, you know what? I've got just the solution for you. And he says, this is what I want you to do. Boom, 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 boom. Here you go. Have a great day. Isn't that what happens typically at a doctor's office? That's what I like to do. I like to go into a business and say, hey, let me ask all these questions, do all these assessments, get all this resource and all this knowledge, and I'm going to go boom, 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 and you go take action. Okay? And so I'm telling you right now, the action you need to take, organize your space. Do the other stuff that we talked about on here today. Identify the time wasters in your life. Okay? What are the time wasters? What are you not getting a return on? What are you spending time on? Maybe it's a friendship. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a relative. Maybe it's something you're doing in your business. What is it that you're doing in every aspect of your life that is wasting time? You can never get time back. And I'll be honest with you, if your goal in life is to get your business in a nice little thing about, hey, I'm going to work 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and take my weekend off, you're never going to get there until you work your ass off for a short period of time and get the right people in place where you can delegate the things to. Okay? Most business owners, it's like Warren Buffett said, if you're doing more than 3 things in your business, you don't have a business. If you're doing more than, there should be only 1 to 3 things that you, the business owner, should be doing in your business. And this comes from Warren Buffett. Okay? Not my idea, but it's right. Find where those 1 to 3 things that add the most value are, and then get your business, work your butt off to the point where you can get it delegated out to somebody. But along the way, eliminate the things that are going to waste your time. In the beginning, man, I put everything on hold except your family and your faith and your health. I put it all on hold. And I'd spend all the extra hours working in your business, getting the systems designed, so ultimately you can hire somebody to give you your time back. And this is why most business owners fail. They get their income to where it matches their previous job, and they start resting on their laurels. And as a result, they never really gain back their time or their freedom. Dwight D. Eisenhower said it perfect. He had the 80-20 rule, right? So this is an interesting story I ran across. President Dwight D. Eisenhower once famously said, what is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important. And he's right. Related to Eisenhower's dictum is the 80-20 rule. 80% of results come from 20% of the of effort. So taken together, the point of these ideas is that it's crucial to determine what's actually important and what just requires attention. Spend most of your time on that critical 20%, what Eisenhower would term important, and less on the rest, even if it does seem urgent. White space on your calendar will always find the urgent things that need to get done. Let me repeat that. Blank space on your calendar where you have nothing to do will always find an urgent problem to deal with. And so if you allow yourself to have blank space on your calendar and nothing to do because you haven't planned out your day, you will always deal with the urgent and the reactive, and you'll never gain control of your day or your life. And that's basically what he's saying here. As a business owner, you should be spending 20% of your time on the things that are important and delegating the other 80% to a team that you've built. Another technique that you can use is there's a technique called the Pomodoro technique. For me, it never really worked. I know there's a lot of clients I have that use this, and it works really, really well because it's just how they work. But basically what the Pomodoro technique is, it's a timer that's shaped like a tomato, right? And it clicks, right? And you set it for 25 minutes and you hear the clicking. So it kind of puts you on a deadline. You got to get this task done in 25 minutes. And so it creates this sense of urgency to get as many tasks done as you want to get done in 25 minutes. Timer goes off, you get 5 minutes to break, and then it starts again. Now, they've gone even further. There's an app online now that's called the Pomodoro technique, And basically it's all digital now. So you click it and then you can select what sound it plays in the background, but 25 minutes goes off, it gives you a break, and then it lets you know that it's time to go again. Just like in the gym. If you ever done any type of circuit training, right? And you have a trainer doing group training and they put you on a circuit, they have typically 8 stations set aside, right? And they're on a timer. So go, 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 go. Okay, 10-second break. Okay, go, 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 go. And you get this intense workout done in 15 to 20 minutes versus wasting an hour in there with the same amount of result. Okay, it's the same thing here. Pomodoro technique works for a lot of people, could work for you. Look it up. Know how to balance your time. We've already discussed that. Okay, the goal here is not to achieve balance. The goal here is to be able to show up mentally at 100% in the areas of your life that you claim are important. And by doing what I'm getting ready to share with you, you're going to be able to do that. Number 10, automate, automate, automate. Anytime you can automate something, you want to do it. And here's the last thing I'm going to share with you to give you an idea of actually how to automate and how to make it work. Okay. There's a good, one of the best time management experts I've ever listened to. I saw him speak back in January 2015, a guy named Rory Vaden, Roryvaden. And it wasn't even released to the public yet. He just released the book called Procrastinate on Purpose. I was very intrigued because I'm like, I've always beaten myself up because I'm a huge procrastinator. And I'm a huge procrastinator on purpose, actually. And he finally put it in the book, and I'm like, this is the most validating book I've ever read. It was insane, man. And so the gist of it is a focus funnel. So you have your task list. You have this task list on whatever it is that you use, okay? And you look at the tasks. And the way to look at the task is this. You put it in what's called a focus funnel, okay? So you take the task, and what I do for myself on Sunday night, I look at my entire task list. And I say, okay, I walk it through this process. And that is the number one thing you ask yourself is, can I eliminate that task? Can I delete it? If I can, hit the delete button. Don't hesitate. Don't go, oh man, maybe this is important. No, if you can delete it, delete it. Okay. So you look at the task. Nope, can't delete it. Well, the next thing is, can I automate it? Can I automate the task? And if I can, then schedule an appointment for yourself to do just that, or find somebody to automate it. Next, if I can't automate it, if I can't eliminate it and I can't automate it, now what can I do? Can I delegate it? Can somebody else do the task? And if they can, put it on that list. Delegate it. And finally, the question comes down to, okay, I can't eliminate it. I can't automate it. I can't delegate it. I guess I have to do it. So the next question is, should I concentrate on it or should I procrastinate on it? And the answer is, if it has to happen on Sunday night, I look at, okay, does this task have to get done this week? And I'm the only one left to do it. Then I put it on another task list and go, that has to get done this week. If not, I procrastinate on it. I don't even look at that task until next Sunday night. And so every morning when I'm doing my morning routine and planning out my day, I use the focus funnel on a daily basis. Can I eliminate this now? Can I automate it? Can I delegate it? Or does it have to get done today? If it has to get done today, then I schedule it as an appointment. Or I create a block time where I hit multiple tasks in a 25-minute period of time or something like that, right? And so not everything has to get done every single day, okay? Now, there are some of you out there, I know because I do a lot of employee assessments, your thing is you like to get a lot of tasks done. You have a high selfless personality. And your whole thing is you like to get a lot done in a day. Well, why not get all the stuff that's important done? And then if you still got time, you can get the rest of it done. I mean, it all works, man. So, but hey, that's what I want to encourage you to do. Okay. So go back through, listen to this recording again. We're going to have the show notes up. Probably going to put this out. This is going to be in, we're going to put this on YouTube and all over the place, right? So go back and listen to the recording. If you want a copy of the show notes, I'm going to put it in the Google Drive. Again, text your name, email address to 916-741-0596. So 916-741-0596. One last thing before I go. I launched a program that is now officially launched, and it's actually a really cool program. It's a group coaching program. It's called the 10X Business Owners Mastermind Group. And you can get there by going to johnpyron.com, JOHNPYRON.com/get10X now, GET10X now. And it'll automatically default to get 10X now -2. Okay. It automatically defaults to that. James was just reminding me of that. So if your browser doesn't automatically redirect, you just go johnpyron.com/get 10X now -2. Okay. And check out the program, join it, don't join it. If you join it, I promise you it'll be the best $59 a month you've ever spent in your life, because the value in there is sick. We're going to go out and promote this all over the world. It's something that you can, if you get in early, you get a lot more one-on-one attention, that's for sure. So if you're really curious about how it is to work with me and you're thinking about joining this, but you're not quite sure, just send me a text or send an email text to this, and I'll give you some free access for a couple of weeks and see if you like it. Okay. Daphne, you there?
Yep. I'm here.
Oh, let me unmute myself. How about that? Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. How you doing?
Good. I was really excited when it popped up and said you were on or were live, and I didn't get I missed, I think, 4 minutes. And then I figured out the Zoom thing, and so learning Zoom today.
Yeah, it's been a while. How you been?
Good, good. I was really excited to hear everything you had to say. I've actually been coaching a little bit in my new role, and a lot of things you said, I was like, I just said that today. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was really exciting to realize it's sinking in and I'm learning it, and it makes a lot of sense. So, but I want to replay because I couldn't type notes fast enough.
Yeah, the recording, we actually recorded it on Facebook Live. So if you go to my personal profile, that recording's up there.
Okay. Yeah, I went to try to find it after I left the live, and I came over here to Zoom. I couldn't find it on Facebook, and
Well, yeah, it's gonna throw it down. So send me text me the info to that number, and I'll make sure you get all the stuff in the recording. Okay.
I will. Thank you. Thanks for doing this.
You bet. So we just finished up with time management strategies for business owners. Next week, we're going to talk about real smart goal setting techniques. Okay. I'm going to demystify the thing about goals. Okay. A lot of people don't set big enough goals, which is why they don't succeed. Next week, I'm going to go deep dive into goal setting. So on March 27th at 12 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to be coming at you live here. And we're going to literally get heavy into goal setting. It's perfect timing because we're going into the second quarter. And the timing of this call is going to help you really set the goals that you need to have, that you want to have for not just your business, but the areas of your life that are important: your health, your fitness, your family, money, pretty much every area of your life. I'm going to walk you through a process that I've learned many years ago on goal setting, that I've taught to thousands of people now, that when they take this strategy and they implement it, they accomplish more in that first year of doing this than they accomplished in the last 10. Okay. And so I'm going to share that on this live call. And so I highly recommend you be there, because then you'll be able to ask questions and get some coaching. So until then, we'll see you then. Take care. Make it a great day.